So I've been posting videos on Facebook now of me singing and playing some of the songs I like and telling you tiny bits about the songs and sometimes how they've influenced me, and I like doing it. It's something that's good for your mental well-being, and it keeps that brain ticking and what have you, and I like doing it. And I only ever can count them on one hand, I think, the followers that I've got on YouTube, but I don't care. I just enjoy it, and I love YouTube, and I love listening to some of the amazingly talented people. I follow hundreds of people on YouTube, and I have that little bell tick so that when something new comes out that they've done, it pops up and I can listen to it. I really love it. I love music anyway. But I'm an absolute pants guitar player and singer, and but it doesn't matter, does it? Just enjoy yourself, and nobody else is, even if you get a bad comment, it makes no odds, does it? It's not going to hurt you, is it really? It doesn't matter. It's okay. And if you're enjoying what you're doing, that's all that matters in life. And as long as you're not hurting anybody else, it's cool, innit? But anyway, I just wanted to introduce you to one of my guitars. And this one is one that my wife purchased for me second-hand from a local guy in Grimsby, out at Waltham Way on, in a little farmhouse. Really nice fella and his missus, and he does up guitars, this bloke. Anyway, he put this on and he'd got some silly offers for it. So I went and had a go, and it sounded fantastic. This guitar sounds amazing. For the money, I paid £70. I gave the guy full asking price. He did say he'd accept 65, but once I played it, I'm going to mess about. He'd been offered silly money for it, and he just wanted something that the guitar was worth, and it was worth a lot more than that. New, this guitar is a Richwood, and it's styled on, or it's based loosely around a Taylor 314, and this is the Richwood version of that 314, and it's an RW314-CE. That's cutaway electric, because it's got a shadow amplifier, or a preamp as they call them, on it. And anyway, I played it, and it sounded like, twice as much. These are like £350 brand new in the day they were, and I got it for 70 quid. Now it's got like a hole in the bottom here. It's got like a hole here somewhere. There's a hole, just here, look, there's a little hole there. It's got big gouges and dings, and well, that don't matter. It sounds amazing. It don't matter what it looks like, as long as it plays and it keeps its tune. Anyway, I soon realised that the tuners on it needed to go, so I got some nice tuners, some not top of the range Grovers, but some decent, alright Grover tuners, and they do a fantastic job. I tune it once before I play it, and then it stays in tune for pretty much the whole time I play it. I have Diodario strings on it. So he'd done a good job of setting it up, but I've lowered the saddle, adjusted the truss rod so it's got a tiny little dent in it, because I'm heavy-handed. I've got massive, like, bare fingers, look, like somebody once said my hands are like bear's paws. Well, they are big, and so I have it a little bit higher than most, so that's why I get the old big dints in my fingers, because I press a bit too hard, really, and that's why it doesn't sound as good as some other people maybe as well. And but this guitar, for all it's a solid top, solid spruce, and it's got laminated mahogany back and sides and a solid mahogany neck, and it's, like I say, for 70 quid, it's one of my favourite guitars. And if you take it anywhere outside, or if I go somewhere and like local, like a few days away or whatever, and I take it with me to have a little play, it can sound awful because it bends a lot and moves with the pressure, but keep it indoors and it's absolutely beautiful. And a lot of people, a lot of the comments I've had on this guitar is, what guitar's that, please? And I say it's an old beat up Richwood, which is a Eastern European knockoff, really, I suppose, of what Taylor were doing. And they got the wrist slap for it. Now they do similar style still, on bass loosely round Taylor guitars, but it's their own look now, right? Whereas this is a complete answer. If I held my hand over the name on the headstock, you wouldn't know. I don't think that it wanted Taylor, because it is really, really good. But anyway, yeah. But it obviously, it's not going to sound like a Taylor because it isn't a Taylor. But for me, it sounds phenomenal, and for £70. And I just wanted to introduce you, and there she is. Look on the headstock. RW stands for Richwood, and you might not be able to see inside there, but anyway, she's quite clean inside. It's not perfect, but the laminate they've used is really good as well, and it looks nice. The laminate's nice. It's yeah, like I say, it does. If you take it somewhere, it takes a bit of time to adjust, and you have to retune and mess about until it can get it back, so it can like dull off a bit if you move it from the house. But anyway, I don't take it very often, so. But yeah, when she's studying here, it's absolutely beautiful guitar. So I just wanted to introduce you to my Richwood RW314-CE, and this is what it sounds like in a nice. I'll take the capo off because I've got a capo on. This is a E chord and a G, and I'll throw in a C. I've picked up guitars in shops that are twice the money, and I've not been as impressed as I was when I first heard this guitar, 70 quid. And I've picked up guitars at £500 and £600 in some shops, and not been as impressed as I am with this. Yeah, so that's my Richwood RW314-CE, which they got a slap on the wrist for, I believe. But it is, for all intents and purposes, it's a good guitar. And if you're starting out and playing guitar and learning, my advice would be, don't follow the path I did when I was younger. Get yourself something fairly decent, even if you go second hand like me and it's got dings and holes, as long as that guitar plays nice and it sounds nice and it's got a solid top, you'll grow with it and you'll enjoy it and you'll probably keep playing. Whereas me, I played with something that was like an inch off the fretboard, the strings stood out that much, it cut my hands to bits, and I could only play it for like 5 minutes before I put it down with my fingers and that close to bleeding. And everybody's been there, haven't they? So my advice, even though that guitar's quite sought after now, but it's my advice is get something a bit better. If you're going to have a brand new one, go on the have a look online and look at the big shops. Don't buy off Amazon or something like that. If you can't hear it, have a listen to somebody playing something, and if you like it, maybe then. But it's always best to try a local shop or somebody selling something fairly decent for 100 so quid second hand. Go and play it and see if it, it's not too hard to press them strings. See if ask them if it's got a solid top, and you can see it's got a solid top because the grain goes all the way through. it doesn't stop and meet another like layer of wood, so it's solid. The grain goes right the way through, so you know it's a solid piece of spruce, and that it will. And as that wood ages and dries out, and you play it and it loosens up, it sounds better and better and better every year. That guitar will sound better, even if it's got a laminate back, as long as the top's solid. And I just wanted to, and maybe if you get it, then maybe spend a bit of money on it, or have somebody you know that can set guitars up, and maybe have it set up to play even more, you know, easier and nicer than what it already does, and get yourself some decent strings and some decent tuners on it eventually, because tuners nowadays come pretty good anyway in guitars, but these were really old, so I had to change them because they were loose and bending, so I knew something was wrong. It wouldn't stay in tune very good, so I just swapped them out. It was about 40 quid, so that's still like an extra cost in it, but a second hand in it. You know, I only paid 70 for the guitar, so yeah, it's like £100 guitar now to me. So, and it's an awesome £100 guitar. Might not look it with its gouges and its scratches, but it plays beautiful. So that'd be my advice to you. Go out there and play your guitar, second hand or new. You know, if you can afford a nice new one, go to a shop, ask them what they've got, or look up where you can buy. If you've got a musician out there and you want to try the guitar that he plays, go play him before you, and play a few other guitars. Don't buy something you've never seen or you've never heard anybody play, or you know, and look at reviews on them. Even the second hand ones, look at review first and see what it's going to be like before you even get there. You know, see if it's got good reviews or whatever. But that's my advice, and I wanted to introduce you to that, one of the guitars that I love to play. You know, so that was it. Anyway, take care all. Thanks for listening if you have.